So hey guys, a lot of you have been asking for a pig update, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to get a rough idea on their weights, as well as talk about a few little issues we've had with the pig pen setup. So there's a little math equation they can use to help figure out a rough idea on how much your pigs weigh. You measure just behind the front legs around the actual girth of the pig, and then you measure the length, so right from behind the ears to the pig tail. The other night I climbed in there and I took measurements on our smallest pig and our largest pig. So we're gonna try doing a little persuading and actually get a measurement on the big boy this time. We got it on the smaller one, but we're gonna try using a watermelon here to get the job done. You know he'll wanna come over and take dominance of this. All right, so the big boy is probably gonna be this one back here. And I'm probably getting about 51 inches. He's gonna start getting aggressive. Maybe this won't be a good idea. Well, not aggressive, but he's gonna try pushing these other boys out of the way. Let's try throwing it under there. Ah, so close. And we're getting right around a 47.5 on the big boy here. So the way this math equation works is you take the girth and you square it, or in our case, our smallest pig was 46 inches around, and we times that by 46. That gives us a value of 2,116. Then we take that value and times it by the length. So in the case of our smallest pig, it was 38 inches long. So that gives us a value of 80,408. Then we take that value and we divide it by 400, and this will give us our total pig weight. So our smallest pig weighs around 201 pounds, and our largest pig was weighing right around 288 pounds. Quite a bit of weight they've put on here. We got them around May 10th. Right now we're just coming up on the 4th month. So they've put on roughly around 150 to 180 pounds in that period of time. So we still have probably a little over a month till we'll start butchering these guys. Part of the reason for that is we wait for cooler temperatures. Usually we wait for somewhere where the highs in the day are around 50 to 60 degrees and the lows are around freezing or a little bit below that. And about a month from now, we should start seeing those temperatures. So we ended up getting 4 inches of rain last night. We've had a lot of rain this year. It's just been a pretty wet season. And if you look behind me, that pig pen's pretty wet, pretty mucky. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, the pigs really like it, especially in the heat, and they can go and cool down in it. However, I don't like them always consistently laying in it just because they tend to kind of stick in there like a suction cup. They have to work pretty hard to get around. They're always sinking in. I just don't think it's the healthiest thing. And that's one of the issues we've been having this year. I don't know if you guys remember when we set this pig pen up, the soil was naturally mounded in the middle and sort of went out to the sides, it went lower. And I mentioned that how the previous years we've been noticing they come in, they root things, and they end up pushing stuff out and the paneling gets buried down. Well, it's the same case. But with all this rain this year, it's almost been acting as a swimming pool. It just all dived right into the middle and it holds that water. This is one of the solutions I had to come up with pretty quick because of all the rain we've been getting here. We just got 4 inches, like I said last night, so stuff's still pretty wet in here, but this was looking a lot worse the last storm we got. And as you can see, they kind of build up these banks in here, almost like I said, like a pool with the walls. They had to come in and punch a bunch of holes all over the place and sort of build a downward slope out of there to help drain some of the water out. So one of the issues that we ended up having come up this year, the house actually sat further down here. What they do is they tend to dig in, and then we had a storm that came out of the north and just filled up the whole bottom of their pen. And for some reason, after that, they would not lay in there. They have no problem laying out in the mud piles out here, but they would not go back into the house. And we were having like a day of a lot of rain, then we'd have a day of just really hot sun. We started noticing one of the pigs making a little bit of grunt noises and kind of squealing a little bit every time he got up and moved around. And pulled out the hose and started investigating a little deeper, and he was pretty well sunburned. So we ended up sliding the house down, laying down some dry straw in there, and that made all the difference in the world. Then they were able to go back in there and stay under cover. So I know some of you guys have been asking whether we have a pig pen door on our setup here, and we don't. There's kind of one main reason for that, and that's myself. Let me back up real quick. A lot of you guys that have been following for a little while know that we've been going in with the neighbors and raising pigs. So you see there's 3 pigs in there. Well, 2 of those are 2 of our neighbors, and 1 of those pigs is ours. Last year they were hosted down at one of the neighbors' houses. This year was our turn. And to be honest, I think from this point forward, it'll probably continue to happen at our place. And then the way things kind of work is in the fall time, everyone kind of comes in and helps do some of the not so fun stuff, go through all the butchering side of things. We all team up and get stuff cranked out rather quickly. It's worked out pretty good. And when that day comes, usually all the dirty work happens in the pig pen. We have a tractor that comes in with the bucket and hoists them up, and then we kind of do some of the processing of the animal. So I haven't really felt there's a need in there, and I just didn't want to put other families' meals at risk, especially since this was our first year sort of running the ship. And I knew there was going to be some learning curve, and it was just one less thing I wanted to worry about the pigs getting out. However, one thing I've definitely observed this year is as we've gone through and weeded our garden all summer long, we've gone and dumped all those in the pig pen. They've always had greens in there to munch on almost daily. This fall, when we've been going out harvesting stuff like crazy, they've been getting a lot of scraps. So anytime they see us with a bucket, or anytime pretty much they see us, they come running looking for that snack. And I think if they got out, I don't think it would be an issue. However, I've watched other people where they've set up electric fences and some different setups like that, and I've watched the pigs just zip right on through there. And when they're at a younger age and they haven't gained that trust and that relationship hasn't been built, I think it'd be a little bit more of a nerve-wracking thing. So I think next year we're going to end up changing some things. I've watched a couple channels. Pratt Family Homestead is one. They do a 2 paddocks type setup. They graze down one, then they move them over to the other. And then Al over, I believe it's Lumen Acres, he's got something similar to us where he's got one stationary setup, but then he's got a door on it. And then he utilizes a chicken wire poultry type setup that is, of course, movable and flexible. And he's sort of used that to help sculpt and put the pigs in the areas that he wants to get cleaned up. I know he had some wood line that he was looking to clean up. It was a pretty cool thing. So in the description below, I'll put links to their channels if you got any interest. So not that I'm saying that there's anything wrong with raising the pigs that we have, you know, doing it this way. I mean, they've been very healthy. We've been keeping an eye on them, monitoring them. They've put on weight very well. They've been happy. Things have been going good, but I think there's always room for improvement. We want to push ourselves again next year. Now that we've gained a little bit more trust in this, we've gained some more knowledge. So next year we will be making some changes. I'm not quite sure how that will happen yet, but that is something that we're looking to move towards. So anyways, enough of me rambling. I just thought I would chat briefly about our pig pen, some of my thoughts now that we've gotten a little bit further along in summer, plus give you an update on how the pigs are doing. Granted, today is probably not the best day. It looks a little rough in there because of the 4 inches of rain we got last night, but it is what it is. It's real life. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.